What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Residual Earners Podcast, episode 52. That is right, 52, guys. I'm Jordan,
And I'm Presley.
and we are just so excited to be here with you for our 1 year anniversary podcast. It is crazy that this is episode number 52 on the Residual Earners Podcast, but we have done it, guys. We are here, and we thought we would take a second on this podcast to take your questions, give back to you guys a little bit, take your questions and answer them. So we have 14 questions queued up from subscribers, from followers of Residual Earners, and we're just going to have a great time here answering some questions that you guys want to know.
You know, I'm excited about this because a lot of people put in questions, and Jordan went through and picked out the key ones, the key topics, and I'm excited about going through this. And, you know, I know we've said this several times through the year, but, man, it really is hard to believe that we've been doing this a full year now. But I've had a blast doing it, and, you know, we've got a lot of great comments. We've added tens of thousands of subscribers. So I guess we're doing something right, Jordo.
Definitely. And guys, for those of you that aren't subscribed, please take a second, subscribe to the channel. I think about 90% of people viewing these are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little thumbs up icon and hit the little bell so that you get notifications that when we're coming on, when we drop a new podcast. Just be on the lookout for those every Friday. 6 a.m. is when we drop those Central Time. You know, it's just crazy, episode 52. But let's kind of get into the meat and potatoes here. And we will start off with a question from Cindy Ruiz. Here from TikTok, new listener, where do I begin when I'm the only person around me trying to have a successful life? Which I think you can kind of, you're a great example of this question. Obviously, when you started finding success, you didn't have other people around you that were, going to the mountaintop. You had one cousin, Manny, who, is pivotal and getting to, helping you with the success and giving you the thoughts, ideas, and kind of was a great mentor. But it's not like you had a long line of resources that were helping you, when you were younger trying to get going.
Well, no, I grew up, as most of you guys already know, I grew up in the ghettos. So the core group of people I was running with were ghetto buddies. Now, I'm not saying they were bad people, but I mean, it wasn't, a bunch of successful folks. I'll put it that way. And I had to change that core group of people that I was running with because, for us, a big day was sitting on the couch, drinking beer, eating a block of cheese, and watching sports. I mean, that was a big day for us. I'm going to say this, Cindy. Here's a couple of things that you can do. You got to get around some different people. You got to get around some people that are on the road to success. You got to get around some people that are positive and motivated and see the glass half full. They're uplifting. They're inspiring. You got to get around some folks like that. And here's a couple of little things you can do. One, get your phone and look in your contacts. I didn't have many successful people when I started my journey, but there were a couple that were in my contacts, Manny being one of them, the main one. But go through your contacts and just one at a time, look through them and see if there's not at least a couple of people in there that are, they may not be a success yet, but they're at least on the road to success. You know that they're at least motivated. And that's a starting point. If you can just find 1, 2, or 3 out of your contacts, then that is huge. That gives you a starting point. The other thing you can do, let's say you're interested in maybe real estate or something, Cindy. Look on the internet and see if there's not a real estate seminar or a real estate conference that might be happening on a weekend. And you go to that seminar or that conference, and sure, you'll learn some stuff, but if you get there early, network with people during breaks, network with people during lunch, network with people, stay a little late and network with people. Start trying to develop another group of people that you can run with. And then the last one is, there is a website called Meetup, meetup.com, meetup.com. And you can put your address in there, and it'll tell you where every club, organization, networking event, business group, it'll tell you where everything is meeting in your area. And look on there and pick 2 or 3 of those that look interesting, and just go visit them and see which one you feel comfortable with and try to join one of those. Some of them are even virtual. If you don't have the time to fit it in, literally go to a meeting schedule, maybe you can do one virtual. But they put that information in meetup.com because they want you to come and check them out. That's why all that information's there. And sure, to do this stuff, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. Absolutely. But we got to get around different people that are going somewhere with their life. And I relate totally to your question, and hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of some things you can do to start getting around a different group.
Definitely. I mean, it's going to take a mindset. It's going to take a focus on it. It's not something that changes overnight. But if you take this year of 2025 and really start focusing on doing that, I think you'll be excited with the progress. Looking back on this year when it's done, on how far you've come.
Jordan, I know your example's a little bit different, but you joined Dallas National, and now you are around an entirely different group of people. Just kind of bring that into play just a little bit right there.
Again, it's a club. There's different types of clubs that you can join. Obviously, this is a golf course. I joined there back in 2017, about the time Grayson was born. I think he was just born when I joined there. But and you're just around the right type of people if you're looking for success. And so I'm very good at making friends and picking guys' brains that have been there, done that, have created success for themselves. And I'm not looking for anything out of them. I'm just, whenever we're sitting around, on the back porch by the fireplace, I'm asking questions. I'm not trying to make them go out of their way to help me at all. But once you become friends with people and you start asking questions and, taking an interest in what they've done, most guys like talking about that. So, that's kind of how I do it, that has really helped me and gotten me down the road in life quite far.
Well, yeah, and when you go to a meeting or to a seminar or a conference, or you join some kind of club, just go up and just be friendly. I mean, I tell people, just go up to make a friend, and it'll go from there. But just be friendly when you're around people.
Perfect. Well, guys, if you see me looking down, it's because I am reading my phone for these questions. But this is from Z Susanna Medium. Question or topic for a podcast, as watching you live on TikTok: mindset to maintain focus when challenges arrive. Great conversations and energies always. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the comments. I appreciate that. My mindset is so key. And, anybody that's listened to me on the lives, I talk about my success starter kit. And that is really about keeping the right mindset, because your thoughts create your actions, and your actions are going to create your circumstances. That's just the way it works. So I'm going to recommend highly that, number one, have a vision board. Know what you want your life to look like. Have that vision of what you want your life to look like, because if I know what I'm shooting for, it helps. I'm telling you, most people just live life and hope it turns out all right. But have a vision board, know where you're going, and then have you some goals. And if I've got goals that motivate me, goals that excite me, then if I have a little bit of a setback, which we all do, understand, don't think you're unique. We all have setbacks. But if I've got goals that motivate me, then I'm going to keep going. Even though I had a setback, I'm excited about reaching the goal, and I'm going to keep pushing and figure out a way to do it. The other three, the read 10 pages out of a good book every day. If I'm reading out of business books and personal growth books, it just helps my mindset. If I'm watching personal growth giants, it just helps my mindset. And by golly, if I'm running with winners, that's going to help my mindset. It's going to help keep me positive. Now, the one YouTube video that if I get down, I always watch, and that is Just Do It by Art Williams. If you're having a down day, go watch Just Do It by Art Williams. He's the guy that started A.L. Williams that Prime America ended up buying. But that's one that'll get me back positive when I'm having a downtime.
I think that is absolutely fantastic. Moving on to a question from Abundant Life 17. the topic is steps to managing money better. And, abundant life, I would say go check out our podcast with Duke Wealth Management. I think that's a great place to start here. Really went in depth with Duke, who owns Duke Wealth Management, and just gave some basic, kind of what you said a second ago, a starter kit for managing money. And then I'm sure Presley has a couple more ideas that he can throw out there.
Well, we did one of our podcasts on managing money where it was just Jordan and I, so you can look at that one as well. But I'll give you just a couple of tips here. I won't go in depth on this one, but I'll give you a couple of tips. Number one is have a written budget. We all need a written budget. Jordan and I have several businesses. They all have financials. We look at the financials. We know how much money's coming in. We know how much money's going out. We know where the money's going. And that's the way you should treat your home budget as well. Write down how much is coming in and then list, okay, here's what I'm paying on my mortgage, my car payment, my TV, my internet, my cell phone, my home security, my food, my entertainment, list it all out, because it's going to surprise you a little bit if you list all that stuff down. It's going to surprise you where you spend some money that you didn't realize you were spending money. And it may be a chance to cut your expenses a little bit, but have a written budget. Number two, get out of debt. I'm not as strong on this as Dave Ramsey is. He says don't have any debt, period, of any kind. With me, I think there's some good debt. Like if you've bought a rental property, you rent it and somebody's paying you the rent and you're taking that money and making your payment on that property. I consider that good debt because somebody else is making that payment for you, and I don't have an issue with that. But when it comes to consumer debt, credit card debt, car loans, all that stuff, get out of that, because that is no good, especially credit cards, guys, because credit cards, you're paying 20 to 25% interest probably on those credit cards, which is just brutal. So get out of debt. So one, written budget. Two, get out of debt. Three, guys, I go back to this all the time, but run with winners. Run with people that are good money managers. Run with people that are investing. Run with people that are starting businesses, and that stuff will rub off on you. If I'm running around with good money managers, it's just going to rub off on you. It can't help but. So one, budget. Two, out of debt. Three, run with winners. Run with people that are good money managers. Number four, spend less than what you make. The American way tends to be to spend more than what we make. If we make 50, we want to spend 60. If we make 100, we want to spend 115. We just always tend to want to make more, spend more than what we make. No, spend less than what you make. Now you got money to invest. Now you got money to buy some real estate. Now you got money to pay a debt off. Now you got some cash flow to do something with. And then five, save and invest. Save and invest. Guys, there's probably three categories I'd put under there. One, have a rainy day fund. Put 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a savings account. That way, if something crazy happens in your life, you're in a car wreck, you get sick, you lose your job, you don't go into panic mode. You got some money put back. So rainy day fund. Number two, what you want to do is save up and pay cash when you need something. They've made credit cards so easy nowadays that you don't swipe, you don't stick it in the deal, you actually just tap them now. They make it easy to use those credit cards, but then they're charging you that high interest rate. So save up and pay cash when you need something. And then three, long-term invest. I don't care if it's a little bit. Start investing. I use this example a lot of the times. Instead of buying that new Tahoe, if you put $550, like you'd make a payment for a new Tahoe, put that $550 in a mutual fund. And then every month put $550, $550, $550, $550, $550. Do you realize if you're 30 years old and you just kept putting $550 in that mutual fund every month, when you hit retirement age, you'd have about $5 million? Yeah, $5 million. That compound interest. That's something that successful people, when they get money, they invest. Unsuccessful people, when they get some money, they spend. We want to get our money making money. We want our money having babies. It's all right to work hard for your money for a while, but then you want your money working hard for you. So one, get you a written budget. Two, we want to get out of debt. 3, we want to start running with people that are good money managers. Number 4, spend a little less than what you make. And then number 5, start long-term investing. And you say, well, Presley, I don't have $550. Start with 100. Start with 50. Just start with something, and let's say in 6 months you get a little raise, put that money in there. And then let's say maybe in 6 months or a year you get a promotion, start putting that money in there, and all of a sudden you can get it up to $500. But start saving and start investing. And guys, I'm telling you, we can retire millionaires if you really get after it on the saving and investing. And that's not starting your own business. That's just having a job and putting money back every month. We can all do this, I'm telling you. And I hope that answers your question.
No, I think that's a a very good response, and I think it's very important to just get in that habit. Getting that habit small, just a little bit or a lot, however much it is. If it's $20, $50, $100, just get in the habit. Um, Pardon if I mess this name up, but from Millie Anna, and I'm not going to read the entire thing, but is here from TikTok with a heart. My question or topic is how to maintain your mental health while owning your own business and being an entrepreneur. And this is something I think I can kind of start with the answer, and it's not easy, but I think the main thing is you have to leave work at work, and you have to, have a good home balance when you get home. And I feel I'm stressed the most when it comes to business when I'm not organized, I'm not efficient in what I'm doing. And I get home and I'm still trying to get stuff done at the house instead of a focus on the family. So if I am more efficient in the office and I'm doing stuff in a timely manner, I don't have a lot of stuff sitting on the back burner. I get home and I'm in a much better headspace. But once I get, disorganized at the office, stuff at home starts becoming a little more difficult. And then it's honestly just time and practice of, no matter what happens at the office, try to leave it there. So there's good days, there's bad days, there are ups and downs. Just remember the ups are never as good as you think, and the downs are never as bad as you think, and just kind of find that middle ground and kind of learn to live in that space.
Jordo, address this if you would too. Did she say she's in cosmetology? Is that what it was?
Correct.
Talk about leveraging yourself, maybe getting a business going where you're not the only one doing it, that you get some people working for you.
Definitely. The main thing, and it's kind of like what we're doing in the roofing business right now is figuring out the marketing plan to get more customers in the door. And, if you can have some team members along beside you that you're making money off every time customers come in, and these customers are starting to come in more frequently, new customers are coming in, and you can kind of take a step back from doing a lot of the work, actually focus more on the business side of things while still making money. That's always a good route to take.
Yeah, and always keep in mind that keep growing as a person. I think sometimes we get busy working a business and we stop growing as a person. I believe we're either growing or we're dying all the time. So I want to keep growing. So, find you some quiet time where you can read at least 10 pages out of a good book every day, a personal growth book, a business book, or also, watch you a personal growth giant that's uplifting and positive, and keeping that right mental attitude, and maybe learning some ways that you can, leverage yourself, because you don't want to be the one having to do all the work all the time. So be thinking about how can I leverage myself where I can get somebody in here that, like Jordan said, when they're working, I'm still making a little bit of money. But work on that mental attitude, that mental growth. And I tell you, it's your thoughts that create your actions, and your actions will create your circumstances. Just keep growing.
Well, this next question I think is right up your alley from Transform with JLS 9616. Love you guys. You pump me up every morning. My question: what are your strategies for your success and network marketing? Thanks in advance.
Well, I can certainly address that one. I got involved in network marketing. My old high school coach brought it to me 21 years ago, and it exploded. And for 21 years, I've been the number one earner with the company. I've actually written books, Millionaire by Halftime, How to Win with Network Marketing. I know that pretty good. It's like anything else, though. It's going to take effort. You start off by making a list of everybody you've ever known in your entire life. And then you start setting some appointments. And nowadays with Zooms and stuff, we don't have to be there in person. We can actually do it virtually. But we got to get people to look at whatever we're offering. We got to get people to look at our opportunity because, again, you want to build a team where as you're building that team, it is leveraging you. And as they're doing things, they're doing it for themselves, but you're making a little money off of it. Then obviously we're out there selling the product or service, whatever we're offering people. So we're doing some of the work ourselves while we're building the team, but it's all about making those calls, setting those appointments, getting people to look. When I got involved, I'm the head basketball coach at Lakeview High School. When I walked in the gym, I was in my comfort zone. I was the man. We had won. I knew what I was doing. I felt confident. But when I started networking, I realized, man, you actually have to pick up that phone, make calls, and set appointments. I got nauseated doing that. To be honest with you, literally nauseated. But here's what I found out. I would make a few calls, and it would get easier. My comfort zone would grow. And then I'd make a few more calls and it would get a little easier and my comfort zone would grow. And I'd make a few more calls. And it finally got to the point where, like today, I can pick up the phone and call anybody. But you've got to embrace rejection. And if you'll embrace rejection, you can become unstoppable. And that doesn't just apply to network marketing. That applies to just about any business. Because think about it, no matter what business you're in, you're either selling vendors, you're selling customers, you're selling people to become your employees. We're always selling. And if we're scared somebody's going to say no, then we're not going to ask the question. And if we don't ask the question, the answer is always no. We've got to embrace rejection. And if we'll embrace rejection, I'm telling you, you can become unstoppable. But in network marketing, make a list, start setting those appointments, start offering people an opportunity to change their life. And either they're interested or they're not. And if they're not, that's fine. See if they'll buy some product or service from you and move to the next person. But, I look back and I could have easily not made those calls. And if I would have not made those calls, I would have never hit it big in network marketing. My life would be totally different now because, I was blessed to still to this day make millions of dollars doing it. So, get out of your comfort zone, start talking to people, start offering the opportunity, show the plan, and watch what happens. Good things will happen for you, I promise.
That was fantastic. All right, moving right along. We got these questions are good. Again, I think this one's going to be addressed more at you than myself, from Catherine Coleman Harris, D7S. Please do an episode, which you can't do a full episode, but we will do a question. Please do an episode on starting life over at 60.
Now, why do you say that's more applicable to me? I mean,
it's just who is closer to that 60-year-old mark.
I don't know. How old are you? I forgot. I mean, are you closer or am I?
Old.
Oh.
Too old.
Yeah, I got boots older than you. But anyway, all right. And Catherine, is that right?
Catherine, yeah.
All right, Catherine. Catherine Coleman, thanks for the question. Catherine, obviously I'm past 60. But here's the way I look at life. I don't care if you're 18 to 80, let's go. If you're 60, I've got you by a couple of years, but I'm telling you, we don't know. We may live another 30 years. So I treat life just like I did when I was 30. I'm still looking to start new businesses. I'm looking to do different things. I don't go, oh my gosh, I'm getting old, so I can't do anything. No. My attitude, Catherine, is that when the good Lord calls my name and is ready for me to come home, then I want to be in the middle of something big. I don't want to be sitting on the back porch with a shawl over me rocking. Lord willing, I'm still right in the middle of something that I'm blowing and going. So, I don't look at my age and say, well, I'm getting old, so I'm not going to do anything. No. I've got more on my plate right now than I did 30 years ago. So keep the fire, keep going. Let's do this because, again, We don't know how long we got. I mean, you may live another 30 years. So let's go. Let's make this a slam bang 30 years. Let's find us a business. Let's get something started. An example of that is Colonel Sanders was 65 years old, living on a Social Security check when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, age really is just a number. If you feel young and you're, wanting to make things happen, come on, let's start us a new business. Let's get something going. Let's take it to the next level. Let's make 2025 your year, Catherine.
I think that is a fantastic answer. And the only thing I would add to that is just manage debt. Obviously, you're not taking the type of risk you took whenever you were younger. So it's just managing risk and being smart with that as you get older.
Absolutely. But that applies to any of us, whether it's me or you. You want to take calculated risk, obviously.
100%.
But no, I agree with that 100%. But come on, I mean, let's live life. I mean, let's not be thinking about our age. Let's just be thinking about what we want to accomplish. And again, whether you're 18 or 80, get your vision board done, write your goals down, and let's go for it in 2025.
Definitely. The next question from Stingray Vasquez, 9503. Came here from TikTok to suggest a topic for an entry for the book. So looking for the free book. I think elaborating on multiple income streams, when to preserve and when to try something new.
All right. I think multiple income streams gets, misused sometimes. Here's my thoughts on that. Do I have multiple income streams? Yes, absolutely. But I think we all should approach it this way. I think we should all get one business rocking where you're making money. It's solid. I mean, you got some significant money coming in and you don't have to worry about it a whole lot. You've built it. Now, from there, I can look to start something else. And I get something else rocking. I get it going. I get it solid. I get it making some real money. And then I can look at starting something else. I don't think we should, by any stretch, do this. We do not want to go out there and say, okay, I'm going to start me 5 businesses at one time. No, not at all. Get one going. Get it solid, get it making real money, move to the next one. Get it solid, get it going, get it making real money, move to the next one. And just keep slowly adding to your streams of income, but don't try to do multiple businesses at one time because any business you start is going to require a full effort if you're wanting it to make some serious money.
No, I think you're spot on for that. I think people are so worried about having multiple income streams. They don't, basically exactly what you said. They don't focus on one of them to really get it going. And the way to really create success with multiple income streams is to take that, whatever your main focus is and start taking that money and adding it other places, whether it's, real estate, investments, whatever it may be. And then, money starts coming in from other places.
Amen.
Moving along from Amanda, 4366. My question is it awful if I have to build a business slowly? I don't have much free time since I work 2 jobs. And I would say it is the smart thing to do to grow a business slowly until you really have a cemented business plan and business model. Because once, if you're going a business slowly and you're starting to see success and you can duplicate that success, and that's when it's time to go all in. So for instance, I'll give you an example with the roofing company we've started here in Calgary. Leads are starting to come in and I am able to reproduce leads. I'm able to get them coming in daily, 5, 10, 15 leads a day coming in that need our service. So now that I know that I have this pipeline of leads, I can put more time, effort, energy, focus, start building a business because I know these leads are coming in. So find what you can do, focus on it, duplicate it when the time is right. But obviously, if you're working 2 jobs, most of your focus is there. It takes a little bit of time. But once you really have cemented that business model and that business plan and it's working, then I would say, start shifting a little more effort into that job or new job, new venture, whatever it is.
Yeah. And I would just throw in there, when I started my network marketing business, I was the head basketball coach at Lakeview High School. I was sponsoring the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I was teaching algebra, and Jordan and Sarah Beth were little at home. I didn't have a lot of time. Now, I wasn't working two jobs, but it was kind of two jobs because you teach and then you coach, which takes tons of time. And then I was trying to sponsor the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which took more time. So I get that, we're busy, but just fit it in the nooks and crannies everywhere you can fit it in. As I would be going to school, I'd be making calls. At lunch, I'd be making some calls. After school, I'd be making some calls. Maybe I would try to meet somebody at a coffee shop on the way home. Saturday mornings, I would go to Jordan's game and Sarah Beth's stuff. And then in the afternoon, I'd try to meet some people in the afternoon and fit as much in Saturday afternoon as I could. I just had to fit it in the nooks and crannies. But then I started making more money with the network marketing business. It started growing. And after a while, it reached a point where I was making more money network marketing than I was my full-time coaching and teaching job. And then you end up with a decision. So your first goal is to get your side business to the point where you can get rid of one of those jobs. Now you got one job and your side business, and you put a little more effort, obviously, now into your side business, and then you want to get that to where at some point in time you get to get rid of that other job too, and you just got your business. Because understand, now in today's world is the easiest time to make a lot of money. The number of millionaires over the last 5 years in the United States has increased by 35%. There's a lot of ways we can make money, but get out there and do it. But understand, most millionaires, most by far, it's because they own their own business. So I'm excited you've got something going on the side. Work it till you can get rid of one of those jobs and then really start pushing it and get rid of that other job. But congratulations on having something going.
Alrighty. Moving right along from Chow Mania. Came from TikTok. My question is how to maintain your discipline when battling consistent drawbacks. Thanks. And I think, something you have to do when battling drawbacks is what I said earlier. Don't get too high on the highs, don't get too low on the lows. Find that middle ground and stay there. It's never as bad as you think on those drawbacks. And you got to maintain that middle ground and you got to keep moving forward. So don't get beat up by the drawbacks. Keep moving forward, find that middle ground, and keep fighting the fight.
Well, yeah, I agree with all that. Keep in mind that life in general, you're going to get knocked down. You got to get yourself back up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Business, you're going to get knocked down, get yourself back up, dust yourself off, and get going again. Don't feel like you're the Lone Ranger in fighting setbacks, because we all go through that. I mean, Jordan and I can tell you one of our big businesses went under. Went under. And it was a tough deal. And it knocked us down. And we had to get our butt back up and get going again. That's just the way life is. So understand, number one, you're not the only one going through it, but it's not how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you get back up. And as long as you get back up, go forward. The other thing I always tell people is we don't win or lose. Get the attitude that I'm going to win or learn. And when I get knocked down, when I have a setback, learn from it big time. But win or learn, guys. I'm telling you. And you can overcome anything. Again, if I'm reading the good books and I have a right mental attitude, if I'm watching the personal growth giants and have the right mental attitude, and I'm running with people that are positive, motivating, and uplifting, I tell you, it helps you get through those tough times. So start running with the right crowd, do the stuff on the personal growth, and you can overcome. And I'll say it again. If you're having a bad day, watch that Art Williams Just Do It video on YouTube, and I tell you, that will pump you up.
Perfect. Well, we'll take it. We'll do a couple more questions here. This is from Melissa Burgos, Burgos, TM8IL. Here from TikTok, what is the one thing that changed your entire trajectory? Topic suggestion. And that's a good one. What do you got?
I will tell one and then see if you can think of one, Jordo. But, What really changed my trajectory was I was standing in the commons area at Lakeview Centennial High School. That is a big open area in between the gym and the auditorium, and I'm watching students out there making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, and the bell rings, and it's time for me to go to lunch. Well, in our school, you could eat for $2. And I remember this was a Wednesday because it was chicken fried steak day. And I love chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, gravy, buttermilk pie for dessert. Man, I couldn't wait to get to the cafeteria and eat. And I got my wallet out and I looked in my wallet and I didn't have $2. Now, mind you, I'm the head coach at a big high school. I've got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and I don't have $2 in my wallet. So I'm thinking, well, I'm not missing chicken fried steak day. What can I do? So I ran out to my truck and opened the door, laid across the seat, opened the ashtray, and I dug out $2 worth of dirty change out of my ashtray so I could eat that $2 school lunch. I wish I could say that's the only time I'd ever dug change out of my ashtray, but it wasn't. But for whatever reason, this one time, after I'd closed the door and locked it, and I'm standing outside my truck, and I'm looking down at my hand at $2 worth of dirty change, and something hit me like a ton of bricks. I decided I don't want to keep digging change out of an ashtray to eat a school lunch. And standing in that parking lot with the sun beating down on me, I made a decision to change my life. And that's where the trajectory of my life changed. And it's unbelievable. I look back on it because I was literally in a parking lot at Lakeview High School when I made that decision. But from there, if you'll make a decision to change your life, from that point, my mind started working because I'd made that decision. And a few days later, I thought, hey, I've got one successful cousin named Manny. Most of my family's just, good people, but they're just blue collar folks, hadn't done much with their lives. But Manny had, and I went and talked to Manny. And then there's where I got if you want more, you got to become more. You don't chase success, you attract success by the person you become. So I made the decision. My mind started working. I remembered to go talk to Manny. Then I started that you got to grow. And that's where I came up with the read 10 pages out of a good book, watch Personal Growth Giants and Run with Winners. It just all started to fall into place. But it took me making that decision that I was going to change my life. You don't accidentally win in life, guys. You got to make a decision. And if you will make a decision, make a commitment, then great and mighty forces will come to your aid and help you. I believe that. Now, obviously, it's all coming from the Lord. But, the law of attraction will start helping you. The reticular activating system in your brain will start helping you. Good things will start happening if you truly make a decision that you want to change.
I think that's great. And I'd say my trajectory changed with what we talked about earlier, being, joining Dallas National, meeting some good people, which has turned into, the roofing business has turned into real estate deals, has turned into who I invest with. So it definitely, finding that right group of people to hang out with that has what you want, that's going where you want to go, starts changing your mindset, your outlook, how you're doing things. That over an extended period of time will definitely change your trajectory.
Jordan, real quick talk about this because I think this is so key for people. Who you run with is how you've got into all the businesses you're in. Is that correct?
Correct.
Guys, network marketing, I was running with Coach Mayo. Coach Mayo was making money in network marketing, so I got in network marketing. Real estate, a buddy of mine named Max Fincher was making money in real estate. I got into real estate. The car business, Jordo and I got in the car business because a good friend of ours named Jim Campbell was making lots of money in the car business. I can just go down the list. Everything that we have done in life to make money, it's because of who we were running with. That's why I tell folks all the time that if you're reading good books, if you're watching Personal Growth Giants, and if you're running with winners, you're going to get ideas on how to make money. You're going to get ideas on how to change your life. That is so key. And it seems like small stuff, but it's those little things that we do that can be the game changers.
100%. So last question we're going to take is from Deb Sharon 3251. And I like this one just because we've been kind of doing it, but would love to hear you teach on how on building your personal brand. So some ideas on building personal brand, which is kind of, what we've done for the last year, how we've created Residual
Well,
Earners.
take that, because you came up with our logo. You are really, I feel like you're an expert on branding.
I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I've learned a lot, and it all starts with the logo, the colors, website, everything you want people to see in it. And when I first started doing that, I would do it real quickly. And then it's like, for the last for the roofing logo, I spent weeks doing it just because it had to be perfect. And let me see if I can pull up a logo real quick.
I'm glad you're technology savvy, because I'm not. I couldn't do that, Jordan.
Well, I don't know that I can, but I'm going to try to, just because I'm proud of this logo and want you guys to see it. But, guys, it takes time and it takes effort. And then once you have a logo, you got to go to market with it. And, when building a personal brand, I'm assuming, would you think that's more like YouTube type stuff, Dad, social media type stuff? Is that how you take that question?
Yeah, I think so.
It's just dedication. We do these podcasts every single Friday. We do not miss on podcast. Presley is on TikTok every single morning, going over success tips. You have to be getting in front of people, and social media allows you to do that. And it's a great platform for you to be, get your brand out there, and that we take full, advantage of that. So this is the logo, guys, which I
Yep.
think is just a absolute standout logo, printed on things. It looks amazing. That took a
Hey,
lot of time.
give him why that hat that he wears is significant, Jordo.
So here in Calgary, which is kind of funny because my office window, I'm looking directly at it, the Calgary Tower. So the Calgary Tower is his head, and it had to tie all into this, mascot we have. So that Calgary Tower, the top of the Calgary Tower, looks exactly like, his little head cap. So it ties it into the city. And if you're Calgary roofing, the Calgary Tower is the most recognizable landmark in the city. So it just kind of ties it into the city. And it's little things like that, guys, that make brands stick out. But you just have to put the effort into getting it in front of people day after day, time after time, even when it's not fun. Because I know Presley's on TikTok lives every morning. It's he enjoys doing it, but there are times where you say, "Man, I'd really rather sleep in this morning."
Well, I think consistency is huge, because if you're consistent with stuff, people start believing in you, and that is so huge. If you just pop in every once in a while in their lives, they don't develop that belief in you. But understand, branding is about being recognized, being remembered, and then somewhat being revered. So recognized, remembered, revered. That's the three words I always think of when we're talking about branding. You want them to recognize you want them to remember you, and you want them to revere you a little bit. And I believe the revere comes from developing that reputation, from that consistency of just doing it. I get comments all the time about, Presley, you're so consistent. Well, yeah. And like Jordan said, sometimes I don't feel like being consistent, to be honest with you. Sometimes I just don't feel it, but you do it anyway. And if you'll be consistent with people, good things are going to happen.
100%. But, I think we did a great job answering those questions. I hope that you got something out of answering those questions, which is kind of, this was a wide array of questions, answers. So hopefully everybody found some value in it. But guys, that's going to wrap up episode 52, which again is crazy.
Well, real quick, Jordo, tell them what's coming, though, with Residual Earners. We've got our podcast channel. We do our Residual Earners lives, but we got something that is exciting. I mean, real exciting to me.
Definitely. No, the Residual Earners University, if you're looking to better yourself, if you're looking to become more, this is the opportunity for you. So it is a university with a curriculum material, lesson planned out, video going over it, a workbook going over it, as well as the biggest separator here is a community where we're all in there together. Presley and I are there with you, answering questions, talking, having a meeting each week. It's just going to be an awesome opportunity. You're going to have accountability partners. It's just really going to be an awesome way for everybody that's been following us to get to know us better and also to better yourself. And I think it's just going to be, we're very excited about what's to come.
Well, yeah, and understand we've got an entire team working on this Residual Earners University, and we're a couple of weeks still out, so don't start hyperventilating yet. But it's getting close, and it's the most exciting project that I've been a part of in a long time. So I can't wait. The other thing, it's mind-boggling, Jordo, that this has literally been 1 year. What do you see for our podcast channel going into this second year?
I think what I want out of this podcast in the second year is to bring on some recognizable guest. We're going to keep on having guests on the channel and start getting, that next, I wouldn't say next tier of guest, but just a guest that, has their own following on social media, does their own podcast, bring more podcast guests on, just people that are doing the same stuff we're doing that can hopefully get their message out, help us get our message out better, and just touch more people.
Amen. I'm excited about what we got going on, guys. If you don't check it out, come to Residual Earners on TikTok. I'm there every morning right around 6 o'clock, and I go for 2 or 3 hours every single day. Then obviously we've got our podcast channel here where we drop a podcast every Friday at 6:30 in the morning. And then now we're starting Residual Earner University. So my gosh, we just keep on expanding, guys. And, we do this hopefully to add value to your life. That's why we're doing this stuff. So hopefully you get some value out of this. I love doing it with Jordan. When I can work with my son, my gosh, it makes me happy. So anyway, I've told him everything I know, Jordan.
Well, before the next time I jump on with you guys, I'm assuming I will have baby number 4. I sure would think. I sure would hope.
Yeah, because I'm getting on a plane tomorrow to head to Calgary to be there for that birth. So
yeah, we got number 4 right at the finish line. So hopefully we get all that taken care of before next Friday when the next podcast drops. But yeah, it's been awesome, guys. So make sure subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, hit the like, just leave us a comment down below. Obviously, we've answered a lot of questions, and maybe moving forward, we break off into 10 minutes and have a section of answering questions for people, and just kind of break up the podcast in that way. This is the first time we've taken questions. We got so many questions that, find a way to answer more of those for you guys. But, just happy to be on here. That concludes 1 full year of the Residual Earners Podcast. And just happy to be doing it with you.
Yeah. And by the way, Jordo, direct message those people we got their questions, and we're going to send them a book. So
awesome.
Get their address. We'll send them a book.
Be on the lookout for that, guys. And we will be back here next Friday, 6 a.m. as always.
All right. God bless you guys. Love you, Jordo.
Awesome. Love you.